Hey Motive Nation, Nick Parr here with you again in Grand Rapids, Michigan at Spectrum Lanes, introducing the new Evoke Hysteria. What we've done is taken the overload core that was on the original solid Evoke, and we've wrapped that around the new Propulsion MXV, which stands for Maximum Versatility, which is exactly what you'll see out of this ball. This is a pearl that's at 4,000 grit, and we did that to make sure that it's going to be able to combat the higher amounts of volume that's going to be out there on the medium to heavy kind of oil patterns, and give you a little bit cleaner motion compared to the original Evoke and more downlane shape. So this is going to fit in between the primal shock and the nuclear forge on the ball guide, something that's going to be a little bit more in the oil, but has the ability to be more fast response down lane compared to, say, the shock or even the nuke, depending on what you're bowling on, because of that overload core and how many different ways you can drill it. Now, I know we've touched on this before in the past with this overload core, and we actually have some data behind this. So on the pinup layout for me, we found that the differential went up to 0.56 after drilling. So it went up 0.006, which is substantial. That's about 10%. And the intermediate diff went up to 0.039, which means it more than doubled. So you're gonna see a lot more track flare and just control on the lanes. Now the pin down one, the differential went down to 0.047. So a little bit, which is expected in pin down balls. And the intermediate still went up, but not as much as the pin up. It went to 0.32, so it did more than double, just barely, but you're still gonna see that traction. Even though you drill a ball pin down and you do decrease the regular differential, it still increases the intermediate differential, which is gonna give you that traction, and you're gonna see that change in direction down lane. All right, you guys know the drill. This is gonna be the first Evoke Hysteria you're gonna see me throw, and this is my pin-up tester layout. This is gonna be 55 by 5.5 by 35. I expect this one to get across the flat really easy. Even though it's 4,000 grit out of box, it's still gonna be clean enough to get across the flat, and it's still gonna store enough energy for downlane motion. It might not be the whippiest motion you see, but it's still gonna be plenty now. All right, and the second Evoke Hysteria you're gonna see me throw is my pin down layout. This is 45 by 5.75 by 65. This one should get through the front even easier because it's flaring less in the front with that further pin to pap and the down drilling. So what I expect to see is a little bit cleaner and a rounder motion overall because that mass bias is kicked out a little bit more. So it should be a rounder motion and really continuous for me. Nothing too fast, but I know that it's gonna still store enough energy through the front. Comparing the Evoke Hysteria to the original Evoke, you'll see that the original Evoke allowed me to play straighter and closer to the friction and not have to throw it at it. I was able to stay in the puddle a little bit longer, have a smoother overall ball reaction compared to the Evoke Hysteria, which forced me a little bit further left and gave me a little bit more overall motion down lane. Comparing the primal shock to the Evoke Hysteria, you'll see that the shock was a little bit earlier because of the cover stock being a little bit stronger in the oil, but it was still a little bit rounder overall because it has a higher RG. So it's still gonna push down lane and try to give you a little bit more down lane motion overall, even though it has a stronger cover compared to this Evoke Hysteria. And comparing the nuclear forge to the Hysteria, you'll definitely see that they're close as far as where I get to play on the lane. The shape off the end of the pattern's a little different just because one is symmetric versus asymmetric, but as far as speed of response down lane, I'd say that they're pretty close, even though this Hysteria has a little bit more surface out of box compared to the nuclear, but still a pretty strong and angular motion down lane.